What's up everyone, it's me Pratima. So buying a good tablet in 2026 can be seriously confusing because there are just so many options and not all of them are worth your money. So today I have picked the best mid-range tablets between 20,000 to 40,000 Indian rupees for different types of users. Whether you want a big screen for movies, powerful performance for gaming, smooth multitasking for work, or a tablet for studying and note-taking. So let's find out which one is the perfect tablet for you. But before we begin, one important warning: tablet prices have already started increasing because of rising memory costs and they may go up even further. So if you have been waiting for a major price drop, that probably is not happening anytime soon. In fact, buying now could save you from the next price hike. With that out of the way, if you want a budget tablet that's good at pretty much everything, then you should check out the OnePlus Pad Lite. It costs exactly 20,000 rupees these days, up from the original launch price of 13,000 rupees. And for that much money, I absolutely love what OnePlus is offering here. In terms of design particularly, you get a nice aluminum build with a lovely two-tone color finish. I am also really loving the software experience on this thing. From basic split screen features to a sidebar for quickly launching the app I want, and even things like a file dock to share files across different apps, this is like a multitasker's dream tablet. I actually thought its Helio G100 chip will not be able to handle everything I was throwing at it, but I must say I am pleasantly surprised with its performance. The best part is that the OnePlus Pad Lite still has 3 more OS updates and 5 years of security updates to its name. Plus, this is a decent multimedia machine as well. It has a nice 11 inches IPS display with a fairly smooth 90Hz refresh rate, and I have especially enjoyed streaming videos here because of 2 things. Number one, since the OnePlus Pad Lite has a typical 16:10 aspect ratio, I don't have to deal with annoying black bars whenever I'm binging my favorite shows and movies. And number 2, its quad speakers have a surprisingly good stereo separation that get perfectly loud enough for a mid-size room. Just don't expect much from the bass or a rich detailed sound and you should be good to go. Its battery life is also pretty solid, easily lasting 2+ days under light to medium use, although I'm a little disappointed that OnePlus does not ship a charger inside the box itself. Which is why, if you don't want to spend extra on basic stuff like a power adapter and you want something that also has cellular connectivity plus stylus support, look no further than the Redmi Pad 2. Both this and the OnePlus Pad Lite have a very similar spec sheet, but adding just 1,000 rupees gets you so much more with Xiaomi. I've even seen its 4GB RAM variant go on sale for much less money, but I would strictly suggest you avoid that one since 4GB memory is definitely not going to hold up well in long run, trust me. Alright, the next tablet I want to talk about now is the Redmi Pad 2 Pro that costs 28,000 rupees for its 8128GB variant. I know there's also the Realme Pad 3 in this segment, but I want to recommend this guy over Realme because of a few reasons. First of all, its Snapdragon 7S Gen 4 chip is more powerful than the Dimensity 7300 Max on the Realme Pad 3 at just about everything. Xiaomi's software experience itself is so much richer than what you get on Realme. And if that was not enough, Xiaomi even promises 4 more Android updates and 6 more years of security updates for the Redmi Pad 2 Pro, while it's sad that Realme hasn't really committed to any number of updates. Then there are all the other stuff like better speakers and an official IP53 dust and splash resistance that you are not going to get on the Realme Pad 3. With all this, I feel like the Redmi Pad 2 Pro is damn near unbeatable for the price. And most of you guys already know how much I love Xiaomi's HyperOS on tablets. And while it misses out on all of the AI features that we get on more expensive Xiaomi pads, that actually does not make this thing any less remarkable. The Pad 2 Pro is also a proper battery tank with a giant 12,000 mAh battery, and I was honestly struggling to get it to 0% to test how quickly it charges, which turned out to be around 3 hours, by the way, with the 33-watt adapter that you get inside the box. I am also amazed at how great its quad speakers sound because there's a hint of bass to make sure what you're listening to does not sound completely lifeless as well. That said, the viewing angles of this screen definitely is not the best I have seen, and let me remind you that I don't even have its matte glass variant, which has even worse viewing angles. I am not too happy with its gaming capabilities either, since the Redmi Pad 2 Pro does not support high FPS gaming. Despite most 7S Gen 4 powered phones like the Nothing Phone 4a being able to play PUBG and Mobile Legends at 90 and 120 FPS perfectly. So if gaming on a big screen is really what you're after, then let me bring the OnePlus Pad 2. It's more than 2 years old at this point, but at 35,000 rupees, it's still the best gaming tablet for its price. I am going to be talking about a few 8s Gen 4 power tablets in just a minute, but its 8 Gen 3 chip has a much powerful GPU and more or less similar CPU. That means from playing AAA games like Genshin Impact at a steady 60 FPS to battle royale titles like PUBG at a smooth 120 FPS, or even emulating other game consoles, the OnePlus Pad 2 delivers. And in all of my gaming tests, I was quite amazed by its thermals as well, since its aluminum unibody design acts as a massive heat sink to disperse the heat. Besides gaming, everything about the OnePlus Pad 2 is just as impressive. From its big and gorgeous IPS panel with a unique 7.5 aspect ratio that makes reading ebooks or manga so fun, to a large 9510 mAh battery that can manage up to like 8 hours of screen on time even under a demanding workflow, and of course the incredible software experience with Oxygen OS 16. Yes, the OnePlus Pad 2 only has one more OS update and a couple of years of security patches waiting for it, but if you're okay with that, I am sure you are going to love this tablet. Alright, now I want to talk about a couple of tablets that cost a little over 30,000 rupees, and I think you can clearly already guess which ones I'm bringing in, right? Yes, it's either the Xiaomi Pad 7, whose 12 plus 256GB variant goes for 34,000 rupees, or the newer Xiaomi Pad 8, whose 8 plus 128GB variant costs 38,000 rupees these days. I compared these two tablets extensively in my Xiaomi Pad 8 review, which you can check from somewhere around here. But the main thing that you need to know is that they are actually a lot similar to each other. The new guy is powered by the more powerful Snapdragon 8s Gen 4 chip instead of the 7 Plus Gen 3. It also has an ever so slightly larger battery, but that's about it. Those two things are literally the only upgrades worth talking about on the Xiaomi Pad 8. In fact, what if I told you the Xiaomi Pad 7 takes the win in certain things like speaker quality? We also get double the storage and a nano textured display which can cut screen reflections as much as 65% and light glares by a whopping 99%. So yeah, honestly, I think the Xiaomi Pad 7 is a much better bang for your buck. Okay, I know I have only been talking about OnePlus and Xiaomi tablets so far, but what if you want something different? What about an iPad or a Samsung tablet? Well, you are certainly not getting an iPad under 40,000 rupees right now, since even the base 11 Gen iPad sells for 50,000 rupees these days. But I do have a great Samsung tablet for you, the Galaxy Tab S10 Lite. What's so great about it is, unlike literally every other tablet I've talked about so far, this one ships with a free stylus inside the box itself. Yes, this one is completely free of cost. And it's a nice stylus too, and since Samsung's palm rejection works so well, I have been taking all sorts of handwritten notes on this thing. Just look at this. The Tab S10 Lite can even solve my math equations by itself. How freaking awesome is that? Likewise, Samsung's One UI has always been one of the best in the Android world, and its little features like this on top of all the big ones make using the Galaxy S10 Lite so much fun. But I'll tell you what's not so fun about this tablet, and it's the performance. With Samsung's own Exynos 1380 chip running the show, don't expect it to run buttery smooth like some other tablets I've talked about. Its TFT display with just a 90Hz refresh rate is also far from the best you can get in this very price range. Although if you really want a Samsung tablet, a free stylus plus years and years of software updates, this is it. Finally, if you've got around 40,000 rupees to spend on a tablet, I don't think it gets better than the Moto Pad 70 Pro, aka the Lenovo IdeaTab Pro Gen 2. It's got an all-metal design as you would expect, but for a 13 inches tablet, I am truly surprised by just how slim and lightweight it is. And even though Motorola did not go with an OLED display like the new Asus Pad, I've got to say this is easily the best IPS display I have seen on a tablet. You're looking at a super sharp 3.5K resolution, a buttery smooth 144Hz refresh rate, 12-bit colors and 800 nits of peak brightness, so it has pretty much everything you could ask for. It sucks that the Pad 70 Pro can't play HDR videos on Netflix despite being Dolby Vision certified, but That's about the only complaint I have with this guy. The speakers here are also one of the best I have heard on a tablet, whereas its massive 10,200 mAh battery was also giving me around 12 hours of screen on time on average. By the way, there's also the new MotoPad 70 Groove that you can check out, which honestly looks more like a speaker than a tablet with its 9-unit audio setup, but considering it costs 37,000 rupees and you get a pretty mediocre Dimensity 7400 chip, I would easily pick up the Pad 70 Pro over that guy. Anyway, I will say that I was kind of worried about the software experience on the MotoPad 70 Pro, since that has been Motorola's Achilles heel for the longest time, but it turns out I was worried about nothing. You get a clean Android 16 experience with zero bloatware apps, and everything here feels snappy thanks to its powerful Snapdragon 8s Gen 4 chip. And before I forget, you can also play PUBG and Mobile Legends at high FPS on this thing. And if you're still not convinced if this is a killer tablet for 40,000 rupees, what if I told you that you also get a stylus for free? Yes, this Moto Pen Pro is great for making handwritten notes or digital art, although there's this weird issue where the pen takes a while to connect to the tablet. Hopefully, Motorola can sort it out with an update or two. Alright everyone, so those were my top picks for the best mid-range tablets that you can buy right now. From one that costs as little as 20,000 rupees to something that goes around for 40,000 rupees. I hope you found a new mid-range tablet that works best for you. Oh, and by the way, that Asus Pad also looks like a solid tablet, especially for media consumption, since it has a freaking tandem OLED display like Apple's iPad Pro. The rest of the tablet also looks quite balanced overall, so if you can extend your budget to around 45,000 rupees, the new Asus Pad is absolutely worth considering. With this, we have come to the end of this video. I hope this video was useful for you to make your purchase decision, and if it was, please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, and while you're there, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Saying this, I'm Pratima, and thank you so much for watching.